Good evening, good morning. I don't know when you're watching this. I'm late on schedule. I'm late on posting it. Not that it's like crazy and that it matters that much and you were all waiting on my next video. Maybe you are. If you are, I thank you. The reason why I'm posting a day later, or two, is because of this.
Thank you for finding the time.
It was the revival of Daredevil Born Again. It came back yesterday on Disney, and obviously I couldn't do anything before I saw that because everything else was kind of irrelevant. Nothing really much interesting was happening. I watched the show. All right. I loved the Netflix show. I very much loved the Netflix show. I've never been a big fan of Kingpin. Not too much into gangsters and mobsters, all these kind of stuff. So I prefer having the season where we had The Punisher, for example. That was a great season on the Netflix show. So these are the shows that I like. And the fight sequence, if you remember the one in the hallway, it's just backing out in the hallway, and it was groundbreaking. It was crazy. I loved it. I loved everything about it. When it got canceled-ish, they kind of finished it anyway, but it got kind of canned. I was sad. It was, but we still had a bunch of stuff after that. We had Luke Cage, we had Jessica Jones, we had, fortunately, Iron Fist. What else? We had obviously The Punisher. So we did have a lot of stuff coming after that was made not having Daredevil not as painful. Maybe we got Defenders as well, but again, arguably not the best show. So when they announced that they were coming back on Disney with Born Again, sure, I was somewhat excited. It was fun, just like, all right, more content, more stuff to watch. I like watching these things anyway. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it anyway, if it's bad or good or anything in between. It doesn't really matter. I like these shows kind of out the gate. But Marvel being what it was and what it is after Endgame we had a lot of stuff. We had great stuff. Spider-Man, which, he's in. Also, they refer to Spider-Man in the show. If Tom Holland gets on that show for a second, I'm freaking out. Just so you know. But they do reference Spider-Man because it's in the same universe now. And we had, what did we have? We had Loki. New season of Loki was great. But after that, we had Ant-Man. What else did we have? Well, Love and Thunder, not crazy. Fun, not crazy. So it was very much hit or miss. When they announced it, I was like, I'll watch it, but I'm not waiting on it. I was not like anxiously being like, give me Daredevil. If they would have announced, we're not doing it, I'll be like, okay, sure. It doesn't matter. We'll watch what is next. But let me tell you, this is, right now, in 2025, this is the Marvel benchmark. This is a show. I think if we're lucky, and if they listen, and if they see what's happening, and I haven't watched anything. I'm giving you my honest review here, but I haven't watched any review online. I don't know what's the Rotten Tomato score. I don't know anything about anyone who said anything about the show. I'm giving you what I think. And if they do that, but with movies, when they care for the character, when they bring the character in his real grounded environment, whatever that is. It can be space. It can. They proved it with Guardians of the Galaxy. Great show, awesome show. That was the trilogy is awesome. The last one we got great, even if it's in a galaxy, it's grounded in their reality. And that is that. It's everything I did not know I needed. Obviously, the action sequence had to be great. They were starting with something established in the first Daredevil shows that we had, so you have to go with that. There's no way around it. If you do a action sequence, if it sucks, everyone will disconnect. There was one thing though, to be fair. There was one thing that got me kind of disconnected for about a second or two in the first fight. When you watch it or rewatch it, let me know if you see it. I don't know if they did something with speed or if it was a 3D Daredevil that we had for a couple of shots in there. But there was something with gravity or something wasn't tracking. So that was 1 second. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Don't give me that. Let's not go there. Then it stopped. They redid it in that same fight. Later in the fight, there was another sequence that was a bit weird with the movement. I don't know exactly what it was. My eye was just like twitching. Was like, okay, no, that's not how a human being moves. So I wasn't too sure. But then I didn't see it again, which I'm happy about. With everything that's happening, I'm not very much into politics, but being a Canadian now, I'm very affected by whatever is happening right now in the States. I think they are very like close to the reality that we have right now, which is great with Kingpin and everything. So that's also is a good thing for the show and where it's headed. The visuals are great. It shows that they really took their time into building the atmosphere around Matt Murdock, around his friends. We have him a bit, I feel, I don't remember exactly the old shows, but I feel like we have it a bit more in his lawyer stuff than we did have. We had right now, and we only have 2 episodes, but back then I believe we had more, as I remember it, more Daredevil, and now we have more Matt Murdock, which I'm fine with because you see Daredevil coming back to the surface at some times in the show. And there's one in the first episode, briefly, not that briefly, but quickly in the beginning. And then there's another one later on in the second episode that I was just like, fuck, what just happened? And those moments, I missed those moments so much. I missed the Captain America grabbing Mjolnir. I miss Iron Man saying like, I am Iron Man. I miss every like chilling moment that we did have with Marvel back in the day. I did miss that. Every movie I feel I've watched, except for No Way Home, there was a bunch of stuff in No Way Home that was awesome. But other movies I've watched since then, I feel like I just watched to watch it. And I sat back and I was like, okay, thank you. What's coming next? They're not trying to talk about Thor. They're not trying to talk about the Avengers. They're not trying to bring any of them in there. Not like Guardians of the Galaxy. They're like in New York and doing like New York stuff. And it's grounded and it's great. So highly recommend the show. If you don't have Disney Plus, wait a minute, have some episodes come up yet, and then just like watch them all at the same time. But honestly, give me 20 seasons of this, I'll watch them all. If they all look like that, if it's all related to that, I hope they don't get carried away with expanding the universe. I hope they don't go into like, let's bring this one here and that one here and bring some love from everyone else that watches the show to be like, oh, I saw Thor and they referred to the moment where Iron Man snaps his fingers and they have a reference of the blip. I don't want that. I want that show to be a show separated. We know it's in the same universe. We don't care. I don't care if you don't bring me Deadpool, don't bring me Loki, don't bring me anyone else than Daredevil, his universe. And if you want to bring Daredevil into something else later on, please do. We like him, like we did in No Way Home, when he just like catches the brick that flies in when he's about to be the lawyer of Spider-Man. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? So yeah, it's awesome. Have a look at it. Highly recommend. Give it a go and let me know what you think.